Hey guys, good morning. It's your boy Chris here. I got my nice wicked little straw hat I got down in Havana, Cuba. I thought I'd wear it today while I'm doing my something on the grill. And speaking about the grill, this is what we're doing. A little something for all the vegetarians out there. We're doing some nice Caribbean style vegetarian kebabs. I've got the grill heating up. You can see the smoke coming out of there. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen again, guys. Well, we're outside as usual. The entire month of June, we're going to be outside doing this and that on the grill. Today, we're doing that vegetarian kebabs on the grill. If it's your first time here watching me on YouTube, above you're going to see that subscribe link. Click on it. All the latest videos are going to be sent to you. Below, leave me the thumbs up, and directly below you're going to have the option to leave me your questions, comments, concerns. Maybe you'd like to see a certain recipe. Leave it down there and I'll be sure to get to it. Thanks, and I always appreciate when you guys are here with me in the kitchen. So today, let's get cracking on this vegetarian grill something. Let's see if we can quickly run through the ingredients we'll be using here today. And up front, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 wonderful button mushrooms. Over here, I've got a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper, half of a lemon. I've got 1 sweet corn, a red onion, 4 different peppers. You can play around with the color combination. It's all visual when you eat, so I like using different colors and stuff like that. We probably need about a cup to a cup and a half of each one of these peppers here. A third a cup of olive oil, and that's for making the sort of marinade we're going to marinate this into. And speaking about marinade, we're going to use a Scotch bonnet pepper just to give it that little Caribbean twist, that little heat, that little fire. Hey, we love our stuff spicy, right? But we won't be using the seeds, more the flesh, because we want a ton of flavor and not so much of that raw heat that this comes with the seeds. I've got 2 cloves of garlic, some fresh thyme. You can't go wrong with that. Maybe about a tablespoon or so of fresh thyme. We're going to chop that up. 2 cloves of garlic. I've got 1 leaf of shadow benny here. It's called culantro in the Asian stores, in the Asian grocery stores. It's called culantro also in the Latin food stores as well. If you can't get shadow benny, bandania, or culantro, 3 different names it's known as, get some cilantro, so maybe about 3 tablespoons of that. I'm going to get 1 tablespoon out of this shadow benny, and I've got some fresh parsley here, a couple tablespoons of that. We'll also need, and I've got them soaking here, some bamboo skewers. I've got them soaking in water. Let that soak for at least 20 minutes to half an hour before we actually get on the grill. So these are the ingredients. If I forgot anything, I will be sure to mention it to you. Guys, here's the other thing. You guys can personalize this any which way you want. Instead of the corn, you could probably use some firm tofu. If you want to put some zucchini in there, any sort of vegetable you want to use, you can certainly do that. This is what I have available here today, and this is what I'm going to be using. So here we go. We're going to prep the peppers, and after that we're going to make the sort of marinade and marry everything together so it infuses with that flavor before we get to the grill. I'll just run through the ingredients again for the sort of marinade. And I've got the olive oil here, that half of a lemon, the Scotch bonnet pepper, black pepper, salt, 2 cloves of garlic, the fresh thyme, as well as some parsley and that shadow benny. We're just going to chop these up into nice small pieces, and then we're going to add it all to the olive oil, whisk it together to form that lovely marinade we're going to marinate the vegetables in. So with the parsley, all I'm going to do, I'm going to grab them by the stems here, and just using the back of my knife, I'm just going to sort of push it away. So I've got the stalks. I'm just going to discard that there. Really don't need that. And all we're doing, I'm just going to sort of fold it up together a little bit so we can really give us a quick chop. Just going to give that a quick chop again. Nice and fine, and that is all ready to go. We're going to do the same thing with the shadow benny, except I'm going to take off that bottom sort of white part. Give that a rough chop again, the same as we did with the parsley. push that aside. With the thyme, I'm just going to pick those leaves off there, the little tiny leaves. We really don't need the stalk as well, and I'm going to give that a rough chop as well. And that is good to go there. Now with the garlic, all we're doing, we're going to press down on it with the back of our knife here just to crush it. And after we've crushed it, again, we're going to give it that fine mince. Just going to give it a little bit more of a mince. And if you really want to get this even more fine, what you can do is put the salt on here, and using the back of your knife you can press down and work it this way, and it will go nice and almost puree like, to be honest with you. So the garlic is all done and good there. So now the Scotch bonnet pepper, and we've discussed this before. I'm just going to slice it open to show you guys something. Here we go. Here's a good example of it. I should be wearing gloves, but hey, I'm a veteran at this, so the oils and everything don't really bother me anymore. The area here with the seeds, there we go, should be better lighting there. The area there with the seeds and everything, that's where the majority of heat is within this Scotch bonnet pepper, within any sort of hot spicy pepper. So when you want the flavor of this pepper with a little bit of heat but not that real kick, what you're going to do is cut this part out and discard it. So all I'm going to do is pretty much cut that out, as you can see, toss that out, and then we're going to give this pepper, this Scotch bonnet pepper, a rough chop as well. And again, you guys should be wearing gloves for handling this. To control the heat, to keep it a bit tamer, what I'll do, I'll just use half of that Scotch bonnet pepper. Originally I thought I would use all of it, but the half should be enough. So everything is nice and prepped here now for putting together the marinade. Putting together the marinade at this point is pretty simple, and I have a nice bowl here, nice and deep. I'm just going to put everything that we chopped up into that bowl. And again, if you're using these hot peppers and you're not wearing gloves, what you may want to do, and I suggest you really do it, is after every time you've touched it or get in contact with it, wash your hands with soap and water. In goes that salt and pepper, the lemon juice, and don't worry about the seeds or anything getting in there, but I mean to say if there's some on the top, you can certainly get rid of it. We're just going to squeeze that lemon juice. Slipped out of my hand there for a second. This buddy doesn't want to cooperate with us today. So in goes all that lovely lemon juice, and you can use a fork if you want, but there we go. All that lemon juice is in there, and in goes the olive oil now. Just going to try and scrape it all down. There we go. And using my small whisk, I'm just going to whisk that together. If you guys want to put some other herbs like mint or oregano or whatever else you guys like, feel free to do it at this point as well. And that's it. The marinade is all set and ready to go. So here's how we're going to prep everything for making the kebabs or skewers. And what I did was I trimmed off the bottom part of the mushroom here. I brushed them nice and clean, so they're nice and clean. The peppers, as you can see, I cut them into about 1-inch strips after I peel them. Well, not peel them, but I took the seeds out and washed them. So these are all trimmed and ready to go. Some beautiful peppers here. So all we're going to do with the peppers is to cut them into like even squares. So maybe about 1-inch squares. So the trick here is to get all the pieces pretty much the same size so they cook evenly. So again, all we're doing is trimming them down, and that would be good. I'm just going to continue doing that as far as the peppers goes. Just going to quickly show you in regards to the corn, we're probably going to go at about 1 inch, well, about 3/4 of an inch, and just press down on there and you have it as a wedge. Again, same idea. The trick is to keep everything around the same size so they cook evenly. With the red onion, it's already peeled and trimmed, so I'm just going to cut that in half, and then we're going to cut some wedges. And what I want is about 2 or 3 pieces to stick together. So there's 3 different layers there. So I've got a nice chunky piece of red onion, I've got another chunky piece of red onion, and the same thing here again. So I'm just going to go ahead, continue chopping my peppers, continue chopping the corn, and we should be ready to go to marinate this now in a couple seconds. With all the vegetables prepped now, all we got to do is add that lovely marinade we made to it. So I'm just going to pour that all over this. The scent coming out of this marinade is absolutely stunning. Nice and fresh, very herbal. The lemon juice gives it a nice little bright kick, if you want to put it that way. So all I'm going to do is with a spoon now, I'm just going to toss that and make sure every piece of something here gets in contact with that lovely marinade. Just look how beautiful. Look at the colors. Hey, vegetarian food can be lovely. Trust me on this. This is going to be simply outstanding. We're going to put some plastic wrap on this now. I'm going to continue tossing it for a little bit more. But the whole idea now is to put some plastic wrap over this, stick it in the fridge, and let it marinate for at least 1 hour before we get to the grilling part. Now remember, we have those bamboo skewers all soaking away in that water. And the idea behind soaking the bamboo skewers is so they don't burn quickly when we introduce them to the fire of the grill. Everything is marinated now, so just a matter of putting them onto these skewers now. So all I'm going to do is, I'm going to start off with just maybe a piece of corn here, and I'm just going to go down the center of it, shove it all the way through, and that's pretty much all you're doing, is adding all those wonderful colors, these beautifully marinated vegetables all on here. Try to get a little bit of everything on here. What's missing? Yeah, let's double up on some onions, I guess. And there we go. We got a nice vegetable kebab ready to go onto the grill. So I'm just going to go ahead, prepare the rest of them, and I'll head out to the grill right after. These are all set and ready to go on the grill now, and we still have some of that marinade on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is take my little brush with me, and I'm going to pick up on that and brush it as we grill this. So we're not going to waste any of that lovely marinade that we made. The grill is nice and hot now. I've got 3 burners, 1, 2, 3 on my grill. So what I'm going to do is, this is the area I'll be using here to cook the kebabs. I'm going to turn those down to low, but I'm going to keep that high heat here. And it's going to help, because when we close it, it's going to maintain the temperature in the grill here for me. So all we're going to do is basically put those kebabs onto the grill. Oh, we lost a soldier there, guys. I'm just going to lay them out on this grill here. And if you're concerned about the bamboo skewers on the ends here getting burnt, you can certainly wrap those in tin foil, aluminum foil, and they should be nice and protected. Just wanted to show you guys something. I have quite a bit of that marinade left back in the bottom of my container here. So with my little trusty little handy little friendly little brush here, I'm just going to keep brushing these as we go along, just to infuse it even more with those wonderful flavors we created with the marinade. So here we go. I'm just going to put the lid on there, and every 3 minutes or so I'm going to toss them, well, turn them over to make sure all sides get that nice rich sort of burnt, well, not burnt, but grilled marks. We don't want to overcook these, because I mean, if we like our vegetables, it would have a little bit of a crunch. As they grill away, I'm just going to put some of that leftover marinade we have. Oh, look at the lovely flames we're getting from that. Woo, nice and lovely. Just going to keep putting that on there. It's been grilling now for about 7 minutes. I've been flipping them to each side, and what I did now, I moved them over to where that high heat is, because I want to get those nice lovely charred color on the vegetables. Like if you look at the corn here, look at the beautiful char marks I have. The same with the peppers and the mushroom and everything. Beautiful here. I'm just going to keep it on here for 1 more minute just to get that nice rich color that I'm looking for. And again, with that high heat, it's going to, once the high heat get in contact with these vegetables, it's going to help release some of the natural sugars. And there we go, we had one pop on us there. It's going to release the natural sugars in here and give it that nice, sweet sort of after finish when we're eating this. In total, they cooked anywhere from 7 to 9 minutes. Beautiful char marks, the scent coming out of those grilled peppers and combined with that marinade we made is absolutely stunning. You guys are going to love this. Trust me on this one, guys. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Thanks for joining me on the grill today. Give this one a try. If you want to add your little chicken or sausages or something to this, you can certainly do so. But with the flavors from that marinade, the shadow benny, the fresh thyme, the garlic, that olive oil, hey, I'm telling you guys, this thing is absolutely delicious. I'm gonna have me a great lunch here. Hope you guys give it a try. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen, and have a great day.